Are you tired of putting so much money into this game and getting absolutely nothing you wanted? Head on over to MrMcCoin.com and use code GS for 15% off all your purchases, which include player training coins and more. Link is in the description. What's going on, guys? GS here. Welcome back to another Madden 20 video. Today we're going to go on ahead and talk about how you can go on ahead, and this is like a squadrons related video, and how it works and the things you can do to get a better advantage whenever you're playing squad. So if you guys know, or if you guys don't know, I should say, I play a lot of squads. It's, one of my favorite things to do in Madden. I am I guess these two guys don't count. So I'm number 2 on the leaderboard in squads. A little over 1,000 wins, 100 losses. I would say probably about 40 of those are probably from DCs or loading screens or all that nonsense that be happening. So probably got about 60 to 70 legit losses. And this game mode is just very fun because you're actually playing with someone. If you have someone who's also good and someone you just enjoy playing with, you can go on ahead and, enjoy the game and also get very good rewards. So legend tier in squads is the same as it is in head-to-head. You get 221,000 coins per Legend Super Bowl, assuming you take the touchdown coin pack instead of the actual pack. Sometimes you can make less, sometimes you can make more, depending on if you open the touchdown pack and what it is you get. And you also get 200 trophies per Super Bowl as well. So the rewards are really good. So you can go on ahead and get up to 6 X Factors on defense. And we're going to show you how to do that and what you need to do. And also we're going to show you guys how double stacking works, merge lineup works, and how all that fun stuff comes about. So squads is just it's a completely different animal, right? So one thing it allows you to do is merge with chemistry. So we're going to talk about that first. So first we're going to go on ahead and scroll over to our lineup. This is the Lizard Squadron lineup, my head-to-head lineup, and then I have another lineup for just when I play squads defense. Now, when I play squads defense, obviously I don't need anyone on my offense, right? Because I do not bring any offensive players into the game whatsoever. So what it is I do is I jam-pack all my offensive players with 49ers. All, nothing but Niners. Niners. Now, what this does is it allows me to get my 49ers team chem 40 to 45. Because, again, it doesn't matter how many offensive players I have or who I have, because I don't bring any of those guys into my lineup. So when I go over to my defense, all my 49ers are super boost. So I'm able to get Dion to a 96 overall. He's able to get +1 speed, +2 strength, +1 excel, agility, all that stuff because of the Niner boost. And that right there is very helpful. And I also have 30 Spinter. So I'm able to do this because if you take a look at my offensive lineup, right? Well, I have 27 out of 30 because of my head-to-head lineup. Like I have Aaron Donald here with Brawler, but I can just swap this over to Spinter. I already have it unlocked, and then I have like John Henderson and like Peppers who have Brawler, and I can just swap those guys over to Spinter, and now have 30 Spinter. That would give every one of my guys +2 speed. So you take a look at my offensive lineup, right? And you see I have powered up Steve Young with Spinter. I have powered up Juice Check with Spinter. Now, mind you, they're not full. I have the same with Larry Allen. I have the same with Staley. Now, the reason I do that is actually, let's go ahead and let's change that so you guys can get a visualization of what it is I'm talking about. So that allows me to get as many Niners in as possible and still be able to get 30 Spinter on my own team. Now, this is going to be confusing. So I need you to pay attention and really understand what it is I'm about to say, because it took me a while to really figure this out and to really get the science behind it to how double stacking and merge lineups work. So we're going to go on ahead and put Peppers from Brawler. We're going to go on ahead and add Spinter to him. That way we can go on ahead and get 30 out of 30 Sprinters. So everyone on my team is going to have 30 sprinter. Well, not everyone, obviously, but I have 30 sprinter on my offense and defense. Now, mind you, my offense does not go into effect when I go into squads. But whatever your attributes are from your full team, offense and defense combined, that's what you bring in to the squads lineup. So since I have 40 out of 40 out of 50 Niners, everything you see with Dion here, all these attributes go into when I go to my squad's lineup. Even though I'm technically only bringing my defense, these attributes stay. They do not change. So I'm able to bring all of my attributes, all my boosts in. So the reason why I have powered up Steve Young and Juice Check and Larry Allen with Sprinter is because that allows me to get gold 49ers that can't get Sprinter. So you see I have Armstead, who's a gold D tackle, and I have Ronald over here, who's a gold guy, and they can't get Sprinter. They can't. Now, I can go on ahead and put Ndamukong Suh here. Right, he has Sprinter. I can get Sprinter on him, but then that would just take away from my Niner camp. So I got 2 gold defensive players for Niners right here, and I cannot get Sprinter on them. So that's why I have Larry Allen, and that's why I have Juice Check. That way I can get 30 Sprinter. That way all of the guys that have Sprinter, pretty much all of my defensive players, are going to get +2 speed, +2 excel. Now, with that being said, whenever you go into a lineup, you and your teams stack together. So let me explain this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 because Tillman has 2, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I have 22 Sprinter on my defense alone. 22. So I have 30 out of 30 Sprinter within my whole lineup, right? And then once I bring my defensive lineup to squads, my offensive coordinator, his offensive lineup, and my defensive lineup then become merged. Meaning, I have 22 Sprinter on my defense, right? If my offensive coordinator has just 8, that means we have 30 out of 30 combined between his offense and my defense. Meaning we together reach tier 4 Sprinter between the two of us combined. So that would be another +2 speed, +2 excel. And that is why if you ever play squads, you'll see 98 overall players, 97 overall players. That's because everything merges together in double stack. So I have 30 Sprinter by myself. I have 22 on defense. And then once we merge lineups, if my offensive coordinator has Sprinter and together we have 30 together, we're adding another +2 speed and +2 excel. Meaning my Deion Sanders will have 98 speed, 98 excel in squads. If my offensive player that I'm playing with can help me reach 30 Sprinter between his offense and my defense combined. It's a little confusing, but once you get the hang of it, you'll start to understand, what it is I'm saying. I know it took me a while to understand, but again, I have 30 out of 30 Sprinters, so all my players that have Sprinter has +2 speed, +2 excel. And then when we merge lineups, his offense and my defense together, if we have 30 Sprinter combined, we get another +2 speed, +2 excel. But I have 22 or 24, however many I said, by myself. So let's say my offensive coordinator, like sometimes I play with Joker, he has Brawler. He doesn't go Sprinter. But because I have 20 on my defense alone, combined as a team, even though he doesn't have any Sprinter, combined as a team, his offense and my defense, we're going to have 22 Sprinter because that's how many I have. So that means I'm still able to get another +1 speed, +1 excel, and Dion will have 97 speed, 97 excel because of that. And also, everything stacks together. So I have on defense, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I have 13 49ers, right? So let's say my offense has two 49er players. Let's say he has George Kittle and Terrell Owens, 49ers. Together as a team, we have 15 49ers. That means I'm going to get +1 strength, +1 agility, and +1 strength, or whatever you get for tier 3, on top of all the boosts I already have. So, +1 strength, jumping, and agility. So together as a team, if we have 15, those double stacked merge. So I would get another strength, jumping, and agility for all my 49ers combined, if that makes sense. Hopefully you guys are with me on there and how the merge lineup works and how putting your lineups together will go on ahead and get you uber players. Now we're going to go on ahead and talk about how you can get up to 6 X factors on defense. You can't get it on offense, you can only get it on defense. So when I run offense, I just go to my regular Lizard Squad, my regular head-to-head lineup. I go to my regular head-to-head lineup and I just bring my offense in. And I think I'm missing one player. Joke is using my limited Joe Thomas for his club games. But this is the offense I would bring in, right? And only the offensive coordinator can do this. And how it works is I would go on ahead and you can only do secondary players. I can only give my defensive coordinator cornerbacks or safeties. I can't give them linebackers. I can't give them D linemen. The only thing I could give them is guys from the secondary. So let's say, we talk together as a team, as soon as whoever I'm playing with, if I'm running offense, who am I giving you? What 3 players am I giving you that we can activate, and then you can choose another 3 of your own. So let's say, me and Mikey B were talking. He's like, all right, let me get Jamal Adams, Pat Tillman, and Deion Sanders. I'm like, okay, bet. So what it is I would do is I would activate those 3 guys. I would activate Deion, Pat Tillman, Jamal Adams. I would have to activate them. Then I'll go to special teams, and then I'll have them at my kick returner slot. Now you can see I literally still have it here from when me and Joker played yesterday. So I gave him, when I was running offense, I gave him Pat Tillman, Calvin Johnson, and Pat Pete. I gave him these 3 guys right here. And these 3 guys are active on my defense, and because I have them at special teams, he can sub these guys in. He can go to his defensive lineup, and he has to manually sub in Pat Tillman, Calvin Johnson, and Patrick Peterson. And because they're active on my defensive abilities, they then now become active on the field, and then he can choose his own 3 to be active. So let's say he gets from me Patrick Peterson, Pat Tillman, and Calvin Johnson. Let's say the 3 he chose was Jalen Ramsey, Palumalu, and Von Miller. So those 6 guys all together are going to be active and put out on the field. And that is why moving the ball in squads is extremely difficult, because you're going to face teams sometimes with 5 enforcers. It makes it very difficult to run the ball. A lot of block shed, a lot of reach elite. It's very difficult to move whenever you face a team with the 6 uber mega X factors out there, and they have them active. It is just very difficult. But again, only the offensive coordinator can do this, and it has to be cards that the other guy does not have, because anybody I put here will replace the players that he has. So let's say he activates Patrick Peterson, and I put my Patrick Peterson here. My Patrick Peterson will replace his, and Patrick Peterson will no longer be active. So you have to make sure that the players you choose to be active, your defensive coordinator does not have them active as well. And also, I can give, like, these 3 guys will be active, and Palumalu and Jamal Adams are still here, so he can still sub in Jamal Adams, he can still sub in Palumalu, they just won't be active. So that's why when you see a lot of, like, 2 players, like a real high overall, like a level 60 offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator like level 35, you can make it work, because if I'm running offense, I can give you 5 defensive players for you to use. I can give you Calvin Tillman, Pat Pete, Palumalu, and Jamal Adams, and you can all put them out on the field. So hopefully it makes sense. I know it may be a little confusing, but once you get the hang of it, you can definitely go to work and, start dominating on the field with mega uber X factors. Again, they cannot be the same players active again. If my defensive coordinator has Pat Tillman active, and I just have Pat Tillman at punt returner, my Pat Tillman will replace his. Whoever your offensive player coordinator has that kick returner, punt returner, if your defensive coordinator has that same player, it's automatically going to replace his. So that's why you want to choose people that that they have that they're not going to activate. So there's no need for him to activate Pat Tillman because I'll give him my Pat Tillman, activate him, and mine is going to replace his and is going to be active. So that's kind of how that works. So hopefully you kind of get a sense on, a lot of people ask, when I be streaming, well, not when I stream because I don't really like to stream squads, but whenever I'm playing with Mike and he's streaming, they're like, you guys have 6 X Factors? How do you, or we'll play against someone, how does the team you're playing with against, how do they have 6 X Factors? Like what? And, a lot of people ask, so hopefully this can, help on how, how to try and stack your team, how to combine your chemistries, how to combine your team chems, how to combine your sprinters and brawlers and all this stuff so you can get double stacks in the merge, and how you can add 6 X Factors on defense. And unfortunately you can't do it for offense because I would have had nasty streak all over the place, but hopefully this kind of help you guys out. Appreciate the support as always, man. Love you guys. Until next time, peace.